It's no coincidence you're here. There is something that sets you apart, a spark that cannot be ignored, a brilliance that cannot be ignored. They say Einstein redefined the way we understand the universe, but you are here to completely reshape it. Your mind is a carrier of infinite potential, a natural force ready to unleash its power on the world. This is your moment, your calling, your divine purpose. The world has tried to limit you, to label you, to extinguish your light, but nothing has stopped you. Why? Because you are chosen. You are destined for something bigger, more glorious, more meaningful. You are not just living this life, you are directing it, transforming it, and recreating it. Today is the day to fully embrace your own brilliance, to embrace the gifts that belong to you without hesitation. Einstein may have solved the secrets of physics, but you are here to unravel the secrets of possibilities. The way ahead is clear. It is time to embrace a higher calling. Let's start right away by writing 77 in the comments. The turning point of your life began here. You realized your own worth, broke the chains, and rewrote your story. Those who underestimated you are now behind, in the shadows. Their stage collapsed, and you filled the stage with your own light. It is a story of irreversible rise, of going beyond the molds and taking control. This is the time to break free from someone else's impositions and become the hero of your own journey. The celebration is for you, a triumph of strength, determination, and an invincible will. Think of your life as a star shining in the sky. Stars shine through the darkness in all their splendor, giving direction, hope, and reminding us of the existence of an infinite universe. You are just like those stars. You did not let the darkness envelop you. You shone with your own light, remembering who you are and where you belong. No external force, no imposition could persuade you to minimize that light. Because you are the chosen ones, you are the ones who embrace the unknown, know who you are, and walk without fear. Once again, you did not succumb to the misleading ideas of the other side. Their false perceptions of who you are were demolished one by one with your clear stance. You clearly defined your boundaries and took a strong stance on who you are and what you believe in. You taught them how to behave with every decision, every step you took. As you stood firm, they realized that their old games no longer worked. The false walls they built collapsed with your truth, because the truth is always stronger than shadows. You refused to be part of the order they designed. You realized that the borders imposed on you were not a prison, but only a temporary illusion. When you began to see the truth with your own eyes, all the false structures they had built collapsed. The order they had set up to limit you was completely destroyed by your power. You have made your own rules, you have drawn your own path, and nothing can hold you back anymore. Imagine a tree that for years has buried its roots in a hard, stony ground, fighting hardships to grow. But the sun is always above it, and the light overcomes every obstacle to reach it. Just like this tree, you too have grown. You left behind the harshness of your life, the stony roads that pushed your limits and reached for the sky. No one could prevent you from reaching the sun, because that light always belongs to you. This light reminded you that you were chosen, that you were strong, and made you never give up, no matter what. The false structures they created, the rules they imposed on you, no longer bind you. Those structures collapsed with the power of your will, because your truth is beyond every lie and manipulation coming from outside. You have reached your own essence by getting rid of all identities imposed from outside. And this essence shouts that you are a unique, strong, and brave soul. Those who wanted to limit you are now watching how your power is leaving them behind. Your every step is rewriting their rules. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Writing your own story has not been easy. You walked through darkness. You faced difficulties, but you did not give up, because the light within you has always guided you. That light reminded you who you are and what you deserve. You will no longer be lost in the roles they assign to you. You are the one who builds your own life and writes your own story. This is not a sign of a break with the past, but of a courageous construction of the future. Now you are writing your own story with determination. Every word, every sentence is a reflection of your light. This story will also encourage others, because your journey is not only the story of one person's freedom, but also the story of an uprising, an awakening, and a victory. You have not only survived, you have changed the world with your light. And this story is just beginning. Now every new day that comes your way reminds you of yourself once again. You have not only liberated yourselves, but you have also shown others that they can do it too. Your march has been an inspiration to others. Every authority they tried to establish over you dissolved when they encountered your truth, because you are no longer part of their game. This is not the end. This is a new beginning. You are chosen. Your story is a story of courage, strength, and freedom. Now the world is watching your light, following your steps. This journey is a guide not only for you, but also for those who come after you, because you are that star shining through the darkness, and this light will never go out. Think of your life like a candle flame. Standing alone in a dark room, it not only illuminates your path, but also pulls back shadows, destroys boundaries, and transforms all of existence. This is your story. You embraced that divine spark within you and did not let anyone extinguish it. You walked with your own guidance, listening not to the voices outside, but to the powerful call from within. You have broken free from the chains of the past and are now moving boldly towards the boundless horizons that are opening before you. This is not just a liberation. This is your rebirth. When you realize that no one could limit you, all the old patterns began to collapse. Those who tried to control your life, those who tried to keep you small, can no longer reach you. The structures they built with desperation and manipulation collapsed one by one in the face of your light of truth. False promises of peace, games that want you to remain silent, no longer work on you. This is not just a challenge. This is that sacred moment when you embrace the power of your soul and leave all your fears and doubts behind. As you embarked on your own journey, you rejected the old story they imposed on you. This story was written to limit you. It was a script that told you that you had to obey, that you had to live smaller. But you tore up this script. You started to write your own story. This story is full of courage, freedom, and genuine strength. You no longer need their rules. You no longer carry the burden of waiting for their approval. You are building your life guided by your own heart. You have surpassed all that those who once tried to control you thought they held. They underestimated your power, but you have gone further than they could ever imagine. There is no longer any place in your life for manipulation, fear, or silent agreements. You have earned your own freedom, and this journey is creating a wave powerful enough to change not only your story, but everything around you. This is not just a rebellion. This is a storm of transformation. You have broken away from your roots, left behind everything that limits you, and reached your true self. Now, a new story begins. This story is one in which you bravely walk with your own light, leaving behind the shadows of the past. This story is the story of a soul that has chosen its own freedom and knows no boundaries. Let me tell you this. This is a source of inspiration, not only for you, but for everyone around you. Your light gives courage to others to choose their own freedom. This is not just the story of your freedom. This is a power that illuminates the world with a greater truth. Keep walking in your own light, for this light will not only illuminate your path, but also the paths of others. Now the world is watching you. Now everything is changing. When the truth finally peels away all the layers of illusion, nothing can remain the same as before. The dark corners where they tried to hide have been illuminated by your realization. There is nowhere for them to hide behind masks anymore. Every effort to silence them has accelerated their own downfall. Those invisible boundaries they once tried to impose on you have disappeared with you. They thought their plans would control you forever, but they were wrong. Faced with your true strength, they only had to face their own weaknesses. Now their schemes will only be an echo of the past, for you have already stepped into a new dimension to enjoy freedom. You have gone to the source of control and severed its strings. Structures that seemed majestic on the surface have dissolved from within with your awareness. They wore masks to make themselves look powerful, rewriting the rules of the game to hide their intentions. However, you recognized the value of the real and rejected this fiction. The boundaries created by their influence were broken down by a silent resistance. This was not just a distancing. It was a radical transformation, a slipping away from under the imaginary thrones they had built. While trying to appear strong, they had to face their own weaknesses, and this was their greatest fear. It was inevitable that this ego-based order would crack. They tried to suppress the light of others to make themselves look superior. They saw your patient waiting as a surrender, your existence as a playground that could be controlled. However, you are no longer on this playground. The truth was, with you, and their manipulations were always doomed to echo in the void. Now, they are crushed under the weight of their own lies. Time has been shaped by your awareness. The end of their influence had come, and they were not prepared for it. Their biggest mistake was that they thought they could own your energy and presence. However, they have never been in control. Now your freedom makes their efforts meaningless. It is no longer possible for them to stop you, because you have written your own story with your own will. Your growth and reality is rising beyond their comprehension. Your freedom fuels their fear of remaining in darkness, and this has become the truth that brings the end of all things. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the transient concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Every time you move forward, their failures are once again in their faces. Their efforts to forge a new order are tainted by the shadows of the past and have become a self-inflicted knot of despair. The bonds they try to create cannot overshadow your independence and your power to forge your own course. Like an abandoned construction, their plans are slowly decaying and disintegrating while you have raised a brand new life on a new foundation. It is now only a matter of time before they realize that they are doomed to the prison of their own limitations while carrying the burden of their ambitions and regrets. This new story they watch from afar is a tangible reflection of the courage they lack. The presence of those who once wanted to mold who you are has melted away when confronted with the power of your authenticity. Those who expected to design your life according to their needs were left directionless when they lost their ability to control. Abandoning their impositions was not only a rupture for you, but also a complete awakening. The moment you charted your own path, all the restrictions imposed by them dissolved one by one. You no longer have to carry any burden that does not belong to you. The echo of your freedom resonates in their silence. Facing the truth has brought you out of the shadow of old habits and into the wide horizons of innovation. Your energy, which they once wanted to control, now shines beyond their reach. They are in the past, whereas you continue to write your own story with bold steps. Their efforts to limit you were only a reflection of their own fears. Now, your freedom is defeating every illusion they created in their shadows. Your determination to be in harmony with yourself has created an insurmountable distance between you and them. This new reality is yours and yours alone. It takes courage to embrace your own light, and that path always begins with a lonely walk. This choice is the moment when you take the helm of your own reality, breaking the game of those who try to keep you under control. Instead of submitting to the rules of the outside, you have chosen to act in harmony with your own inner voice. This is not only rejecting what is easy, but going beyond a life guided by others. One by one, the limits, molds, and demands for silence presented to you have been broken. They may call this decision rebellion. They may label you with everything they don't understand. But the truth is, you have chosen your own path, and this choice has gone beyond the control they imposed. Independence begins when you turn your back on the applause of the outside world. True freedom is revealed when you stand up for your own values instead of submitting to authority. Their expectations of approval clashed with your silence, but you did not need external authority to prove your existence. The journey of building your own identity grew out of the demands of others. Those who needed control saw your standing around you as a threat because your independence shook the order they desperately clung to. Now, as someone writing your own story, you have shown that their impositions have no power over you. Progress is the courage to exist without having to explain yourself. While others were trapped in their shadow worlds, you moved forward, guided by your own light. While they were looking for meaning through the eyes of others, you acted with an inner confidence. This authenticity and courage always triggered their fears. Your growth is a reflection of a power that does not depend on the control of others. You have become clear about who you are, what you do, and why you exist. This clarity has shattered the web of control they tried to establish and created a space of freedom that they can never touch. This has been not just a journey, but an awakening. Shaping your own journey with courage is a turning point where you hear the call of where you belong. It is time to find a community around you that thinks like you, lives its own truth, and is free of masks. This journey begins with an inner resonance rather than a connection in the outer world. Coming together in a place of shared wisdom, mutual support, and pure truth is a state of mind, not just a physical space. If you feel you are ready for it, you will find that connection waiting for you. When transformation meets stagnation, conflict is inevitable. You swim in the wave of constant change, embracing the flow, while they try to control their existence in an effort to remain constant. While you see opportunities in uncertainty, they perceive threats at every new step. Your passion for growth disrupts their efforts to hold on to stagnation. Your belief that life is a constant cycle of change shakes their illusion of stability that has lasted for years. The clash between these two worlds results in truth always prevailing, not one over the other. Growth is sometimes chaotic, messy, and unpredictable, but every bold step you take in this process forces them to confront their own immobility. This confrontation makes them uncomfortable because it is no longer possible to ignore your change. Your progress serves as a mirror for their stagnation, and this mirror offers them a moment of confrontation with a reality they cannot resist. While they prefer to remain fixed in their comfort zone, you are a force that overturns their boundaries with your courage. Living your own reality requires breaking the molds imposed on you by others. While for them, the predictability of rules offers a safety zone, your courage does not recognize these limits. The path you set for yourself threatens their sense of order because you prove that a life outside this order is possible. What they see as constancy is, in your eyes, nothing but a prison. This difference proves once again that your freedom is a force that exposes all their fears. By taking the reins of your life in your hands, you have shown that you do not have to follow their rules. This is not just a journey, but a rewriting of the definition of freedom. The clarity of your truth manifests itself as a force that breaks the chains of convention. Every step you take, together with your unwavering faith, shakes the roots of their fears to the core. Your presence causes them to see the fragile structure of their comfort as a threat. While they cling to the security of borders, you are building a whole new world beyond those borders. While their fear keeps them stuck, your courage exposes their restlessness, born of inaction. Their criticism of you is nothing but an echo, reflecting their own inadequacies and shortcomings that they cannot accept. Your light functions like a compass, piercing through the shadows in which they hide. Your every expression causes them to face the truths they have been covering up. While you celebrate your devotion to yourself, they are lost in the desperation of trying to maintain their illusion of control. Every time they choose to hide behind the shadows, they are tested once again by your candor. Even if they come at you with criticism, it is only a reflection of their fear. You are not a threat. You are a mirror that illuminates the lies they are trying to hide. This is not about your retreat, but about their own discouragement. The reason they are uncomfortable with your brilliance is that your light unmasks them. You are a symbol of transparency, clarity, and authenticity. They are people who avoid facing their fragile nature, which they have spent years trying to protect. Your words reveal truths that they are afraid to admit to themselves. The truth, once revealed, cannot be hidden. As you continue to radiate light with your presence, their structures of illusion are doomed to collapse one by one. Your transparency reveals not only who you are, but also who they are not. They are not afraid of your words, but of the power your words reveal. Their criticism cannot break your resolve. Your light inspires not only you, but others to break out of their own darkness. This is not just a struggle, it is a real victory. A victory that goes beyond the fears they create, that reaches beyond the lies and celebrates the truth. Keep dancing with your own light. Their shadows will melt away into it. Being present with the truth of who you are is a power that profoundly shakes the world around you. This is a disturbing reminder for those who hide behind masks. While they mold their identity to gain value in the eyes of others, you exist in your unfiltered reality. Structures that appear polished on the surface begin to crack in the face of your clarity. The illusion that is safe for them is shattered by your simple and sincere presence. Your refusal to submit to the expectations of others instead of pushing your own limits reveals their weaknesses. The world they have built to protect their appearance becomes vulnerable in the light of your authentic stance. Your uncompromising behavior of being yourself inflames their inner conflicts. Your presence is a challenge to those who are afraid to live with the truth. Your honesty pierces through those structures, wrapped in a false sense of security. As you shine, they are forced to confront their own inner shortcomings. Behind their criticism, they are trying to hide their own fears. Whatever they do not want to see about themselves becomes visible in all its nakedness when they meet you. This is not a battle of superiority. This is the destruction of shadows with the power of truth. While you carry your values and beliefs like a compass, their identity is based on a fragile foundation. The illusions they cling to begin to crumble when confronted with your clarity. The order they have established has difficulty bearing the weight of lies. As you continue to exist by embracing your own values, their vulnerability becomes more apparent. Your refusal to dim your own light inspires the same courage in others. Their discomfort is a reflection of your freedom. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles. Feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. This effect you create with your courage allows not only to exist in your own strength, but also to make others face their own shadows. Your openness and clarity are too powerful for those who wish to hide themselves to withstand. Your ability to manage your own life makes their stuckness even more visible. It is a crossroads. Your light not only illuminates your own path, but forces others to open their eyes. This is the triumph of reality and the collapse of illusions. You have risen with a power that defies your own games. Every area they have tried to control and dominate has been shaken by your stand. They believed that they could manipulate their environment to fulfill their own desires, but they were wrong. They fell into their own trap. Their efforts exposed their weaknesses, hidden under the illusion of control. Your determination has made the weight of their insecurities more visible. Now they are lost in the mess they created. For the world they tried to mold in the face of your resolve has collapsed. Manipulation cannot be a true victory. As you embrace your freedom, their strategies have only deepened their own weaknesses. Their every move reflected their blind faith in their own righteousness, but left only emptiness. Far from understanding the power your presence reflects, they were forced to watch you grow. Every moment they tried to suppress you only revealed your power more clearly. Now they have to face the consequences of their own helplessness. Your ascension shines as a light beyond their darkness. It is not only a declaration of freedom, but also a celebration of power. You have transcended the boundaries of those who tried to dominate you. You have defined yourself, reclaimed your self-worth, and demonstrated what it means to exist in this world without apology. Their efforts to stop you have only exposed their own limitations. They retreated into the shadows of the past while you stepped resolutely forward. They could not control you because your inner strength was beyond their understanding. You no longer need any external authority to remind you of who you are. Your worth is not dependent on the perceptions of others, and you have embraced this truth in the deepest way. Now is the time to inspire others with your own light. This journey is not only for you, it is also an opportunity to show that it is possible to rise with courage. Let the world feel the glow of your strength and determination. This is just the beginning. With your voice, your story, and your presence, you are creating a legacy that will resonate